The foundation of a thriving, healthy city is found in the strength of its neighborhoods. In this edition of Spotlight on Bowling Green, we'll be taking a closer look at the city's Summer Stroll program and how it brings together citizens and city officials. Summer Strolls, hosted every year by city government, allows city employees and elected officials to take a resident-guided tour through their neighborhood.
The Summer Stroll program began in 2001, and its primary purpose is to bring our city staff and elected officials out to the neighborhood where they can meet with neighbors and look at whatever opportunities or concerns that the neighbors may have.
We're really focusing on making sure that neighborhoods are engaged with the city. We handle the organization and the planning for all the summer strolls that go on. Karen Foley in our department is the main contact point for that. So if there is a neighborhood that's interested in having a summer stroll, they need to contact Karen, and then she can go through the planning and the setup process for making sure that everything's organized.
My role is to coordinate the summer strolls each season. I work with the hosts of each stroll to determine a good starting location, to figure out what kinds of things along the route that they would like to show us, and also to make sure that all of our elected officials and our city staff know where to be and to be able to come prepared to answer questions that may be specific to the neighborhood where we're visiting.
Meeting with residents gives city employees and elected officials the opportunity to become more familiar with thoughts and concerns regarding their neighborhoods.
At the conclusion of each stroll, we take all of the notes and comments or concerns that people bring to us, and if it's a code enforcement issue or a public works issue, anything that requires tracking in our request system, we make sure that those are entered and that they are disseminated to the proper department to address those. Occasionally we may have concerns that are for a utility or for the state highway department or for another agency. If that is the case, then we make sure that that information is forwarded along with follow-up contact information to the correct agency that needs to address that issue. And occasionally we have some concerns that are brought to us that are really more long-term solution items. It may be something that ends up going into our capital improvement program or our new sidewalk program or another program, and it may take a few years to get funded. But we do make sure that all of those concerns are brought forward, that the City Commission is made aware of them, and that the proper departments are involved in resolving those things.
It's just the first thing is just open the lines of communication. We can get out as police officers and walk the streets, and folks will come out and talk to us about issues that they may have not called for. So when we're out there walking, we're visible and we're available to the citizens to come over and talk to us. With that, normally what I do is I write down the issues that the residents are having, and then come back after the stroll and get a plan together to address that. Anytime we can get information from the citizens to help know what's going on within their neighborhoods and with their communities is a good thing, and it helps us do our job. To solve the problem, we have to know what the problem is, and by getting out into the neighborhoods, by talking with the citizens, helps us open that line of communication.
Residents receive many positive results when a summer stroll is hosted in their neighborhood.
I wrote out a lot of things to give the mayor and the commissioners what I'd like to see have done, and they gave me a big okay, saying that they was going to do something about the problem. So that was my biggest concern, them holding their word to what I asked for. Most of it was the speeding and cars and things parked on both sides. You can't hardly get around. Trash. My house, I live right there on the corner, and everybody passing by, they throw trash in my yard. We have to pick up trash and stuff every day. I want my yard to be pretty like everybody else's.
Well, we're trying to take and get some of the stuff done. They're playing called the water drainage. You're talking about remove parking on the side. Of course, I was sitting there and they're playing. They had the road blocked. I seen a kid almost get hit. They speed on the road. It's just numerous things on this road. The way they talk and everything, that we was going to get basically what we asking for over here. We ain't asking for much, but, every little bit counts.
I just want people to feel comfortable in communicating with the city. This is an opportunity for us to go meet them at their home, on their grounds, to see the issues that they face every day and really be able to work through some of the solutions. And so my goal is just to make sure that they feel comfortable in coming back and talking to us about issues.
So I've lived here for 5 years now, and as far as I know, we've never had a neighborhood stroll. In talking with neighbors tonight as well, this may be the first ever Indianola neighborhood stroll. In a neighborhood that is a mix of families and college students and renters and old homes, newer homes, that I think that creates a very unique set of problems. It creates a unique set of possibilities as well. But I think my expectations were that a lot of the people in the neighborhood who maybe don't feel like their voice is heard very often, they have that opportunity to meet city commissioners and magistrates and the mayor. And so to have that kind of opportunity in your neighborhood where you're comfortable to meet those people one-on-one is the benefit of a summer stroll like this, but also just getting together, getting outside of the homes. And we do it all the time, but to have everybody on the street together to talk about what's going on in the neighborhood is a great event. When you think about America and society, I think a lot of people would maybe agree that we're broken somehow, and that we have this idealized past. And then living in this neighborhood of Bowling Green, there's a glimpse of that idealized past that's a reality for us.
Many positive changes and improvements have been made as a direct result from Summer Stroll suggestions.
We've had a number of instances where a neighborhood has brought something to our elected officials' attention. One prime example would be a few years ago, early on in our summer strolls, we strolled on Old Morgantown Road, and the concern at that time was about the sidewalk network along Old Morgantown Road at the time. We had a lot of access management problems, a lot of sea of asphalt along the way, and the sidewalk was flush with the roadway in a lot of areas. That's one example where that particular concern became a long-term capital improvement program. And if you drive Old Morgantown Road today, you'll see there's been some new street lights that have been added. The curb and gutter and sidewalk has been completely rebuilt in the neighborhood, and it just has an entirely refreshened look to it. It's a higher quality, traditional urban style street with still a lot of neighborhood feel. It's still, you can navigate it on foot, and it's a big asset to the neighborhood there, and that started from a summer stroll. Another example where summer strolls have been really helpful in the Northern Heights Parker Bennett neighborhood, for example. A number of years ago, a lot of the streets in that neighborhood were actually concrete streets. Those concrete streets over time had some issues, and because we were able to walk those streets during a summer stroll, our city manager and city commission were able to go after some additional grant funds that helped us to be able to replace those concrete streets with our traditional asphalt streets.
In the Delafield community, we did a summer stroll over there, I think in 2010, and then after that stroll, the need was discussed about the additional sidewalks. We were able to use some of our CDBG funds to do an extra 2,000 feet of sidewalk improvements and also street improvements in that area. So now all of Boat Landing Road has been sidewalked and repaved with curb and gutter. That was a large project, took a lot of time, but that came out of a summer stroll. So those are the types of things that can really come out. It's more than just getting a property cleaned up. There could be really big impacts from these summer strolls. Well, it just gives us an opportunity to see things from their perspective. It's really easy for us to look at things on a map or look at charts or things like that, but this gives us the opportunity to look at things from their front porch, to really see how the citizens see it. And it's an opportunity for them to meet with us and our elected officials and just create that communication to make Bowling Green a better place.
If you would like to learn more about this or any other Spotlight on Bowling Green program, contact City Hall at 393-3000.